I can talk or I can see, but I can't really do both. Michelle here, also known as Fancy Dinosaur Tea Party, and welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I'm going to be trying to make, or attempt to make, a balaclava. Usually with my tutorial videos, I go like step by step. You know, the camera's facing down, you see my hands making the project. Well, this project is kind of that, but kind of not. So I will be showing you step by step what I'm doing, but also it's going to be me trying to figure it out along the way, because I've never made one before. It doesn't sound too difficult, and what I'm doing is I'm going to be modeling it after like this style of hat. You know, if I put it on my head like so, but if I push it down and then I'm just gonna like cut out where my face is gonna be. Oh my god, my hair. So it's gonna be more of a learning experience for me as well if you want to learn it. I just am making this up as I go along. So a lot of the balaclavas, I hate that word, that I see on YouTube are like knitted, and I don't knit. I just don't knit because I don't like it. I like to crochet, as you probably have already figured out. With crocheting, there wasn't a lot of videos. There was some, but a lot of them were like more intricate. And again, I'm going for basic. I'm going for simple. I am not trying to recreate something. I just want to make one to see if I can do it. But a lot of them, like, they start at the top and then they go down and around and whatnot. And I'm not doing that. I'm just going to be making the same way I made this. So that's why I'm just letting you know that this is not going to be my typical tutorial. It is a tutorial, but it's not me being confident in what I'm doing. Just letting you know that this video is not going to be perfect. I will probably mess up several times, figure it out along the way, and eventually I will end up with, hopefully, a balaclava. So let's get right into making one of these things. Okay, so for this project, I'm going to be using a 5mm crochet hook, a pair of scissors, a yarn needle, and my yarn. This is the color of yarn I'm using. It is Impeccable. Don't remember the color name, but I will find it and I will list it below so you can see it. It is a medium 4 weight, and that is why I'm using the 5mm crochet hook. First up, I'm going to start with my slip knot, which is I'm grabbing this end, grabbing here, twisting, and then I'm just switching my fingers over, grabbing onto the little tail, pulling through, and then tightening it. Oh, that's the wrong way. And then inserting my crochet hook. Now I am going to do 58 chains. 58 chains. So to chain, you're yarning over, pulling through, yarning over, pulling through, yarning over, pulling through. So that's 3. I have to do 58. Now that I have my chain, oh my gosh, really? There has to be snowmobilers right now? I'm at the end. I'm going to chain an extra one because when I work back, I want my lines to be nice and flat. I'm going to be doing single crochets. Skip the one I chained, insert my hook, yarn over, pull through 1, yarn over, pull through 2. And that is a single crochet. And now I have to do this to every single chain all the way down. So again, that is insert your hook, yarn over, pull through 1, yarn over, pull through 2. And just continually do this until you have 58 single crochets. I also want to point out that if you watched my hat tutorial on how to make like a really easy crocheted beanie, this is the exact same steps. So you can skip all this until I start making the bottom half of the balaclava, because I've already taught you this step. This is the exact same step as the hat video. So when you get to the last one, you're going to chain just the extra one, flip your yarn over, and now working your way back, I'm gonna zoom in a little bit so you can see this better. I'm only gonna be working in the back stitch. So if you look at this here, back stitch and the front stitch is here. Normally for crocheting, if you want to do a single crochet, I go through both of them, but because I want this to be a ribbing effect, such as like the ribbing effect here, I only want to go in the back stitch. So you're gonna skip that extra chain, insert into the back stitch, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through 2. Again, this is just the single crochet, but because I want the ribbing effect, I'm only going into the back part of the stitch. You're just going to be going back and forth and back and forth and back and forth 20 times. When I mean 20 times, I mean you're gonna want 20 of these ribbings. So technically, I guess it would be 40 times. So it's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, etc. I just do it by the ribbing. 2 rows equals 1 ribbing. So that's 1, that's 2, that's 3. You kind of get the gist. And then when I get to 20, that is when I'm gonna start the bottom half of the balaclava. So I will catch back up with y'all when I'm there. Okay, switching over to this camera, aka my iPhone, because I don't want to reset up the camera that's shooting down at what I'm working at. So anyways, this is where I am right now, and this is going to be the like back of the balaclava. I hate that word. I don't like it. Back of the hat-like thing. So it's gonna like, you know, go like this and stretch around. Okay, so if I put this like up here, and then this is gonna be down here. So I just have to figure out where my face is gonna be. I think I'm gonna do like this. I think I'm gonna go a little bit higher so that way I can like pull it down underneath my chin and then like have it up if it's a little too cold. This is like 100% acrylic yarn, so it does have some stretch in it, so it is gonna stretch out a little bit. It's not gonna be so dense, and I know sometimes if you use wool is a very dense material. I mean, it has like a little bit of stretch to it, but not as much as this acrylic does. Again, I am making this up as I go along. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm literally just making it up as I go along. And I'm seeing my ice cap in the back of my frame right now, and I want to grab it, but I'm kind of trapped. So I will get my ice cap later. I left off here, and my plan is, because this is like where I pull it out so it doesn't like unravel itself, but my plan is to like go up, stop, and come back down and go up like that. I'm leaving a little extra at the top because I know it's gonna get bunched in. And if I pull it down, because there is gonna be some stretch, and I go like, let's say like here. So I'm gonna hold my finger there, and I'm gonna count how many that is. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 30. That's 30. I actually had filmed this already, and I didn't do the measurements right, and it just didn't turn out right. So here's me redoing it. That's why it's kind of scribbled out. But as you can kind of see, like right here is what I just did, and this is what I'm going to work on. So this is going to be like this part, and then this part here is gonna cover my forehead. I'm going to do the same measurements I did for the hat, which again was 28 of these stitches, 28 ribs, I think, which would be 56 rows, maybe. I'm bad at math. Since I did 20 of these, then I know that I'm going to have to do 8 going this way before I like flip it over and connect it. We will get to that. We will see. I say we because I also don't know what this is going to turn into. So yeah, going back in and starting to do the bottom part of this mask. Here we are now. Again, this is 20 ribs across, and I'm saying like that's a rib, that's a rib, that's a rib. So each one of these I'm counting as a rib. Held it up to my face. I said I wanted to go 30 rows up, continuing the same way that I was doing it before. Add my extra chain at the end, insert my hook, and just do the exact same stitches, but only do 30. That's 30. And again, I'm adding that extra chain on the end so that I can turn around. So this is the exact same process that I made to make this part here, but now I'm only going up to 30. Then again at the end, add my extra chain, flip it over, work my way back up this way, and then I'm gonna continue going up and down until I have 8 more of these little ribs. So I just made 1 rib here. I don't know the technical term. I'm just calling them ribs because it's just what I call them. So when this is all done, then I can tie it off and work on the top part. So I'm going to finish this, and then I'm gonna come back and we're gonna work on the top part and see how that goes. Again, I'm not too sure how this is gonna go, so we will see. So you can see that I did this yesterday, and what's gonna happen is this is gonna go here, and then this is gonna go around and connect here. So this is like gonna connect, but today I need to do the top part. So if I want it to look like this, and this is the top, I think like here, I want it to be like right, I want it to be right above my eyebrows. This is here, this is here. I'm gonna pinch my finger right there. About 15, I'm gonna give it a little extra. I think I'm gonna do 16 stitches. As you can see, like I just filmed a thrift haul and all my Christmas stuff is there that I gotta get rid of. Anywho, 16 stitches down before I connect it all. So what I'm gonna do is I am just going to do the exact same thing that I was doing over here and just start up here and see how that goes. And I'm also going to be doing the same width as this. So this width is going to be the same as like right up here. So gonna start doing that. So now that I've finished the bottom part, I'm just going to cut the tail end here and then do a slip stitch so that I'm just yarning over, pulling through, and then just tightening. That's the bottom done there. And now what I have to do is I have to do, what did I say, 16? I have to do 16 down. Just letting you know, I changed it to 20 instead of 16, and I will explain why I did this in just a minute. I'm going to make a slip knot. So I'm inserting into the back stitch, yarning over, and doing a slip stitch into the back stitches only. If I can find the other back one, I'm going to just do my single crochets in the back stitches. Going to chain my extra one as always, and then I'm going to work my way back up. And again, only going into the back stitches. So as you can see, it's kind of forming, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to do it the same length as this until I get to here, stop, and then what's going to happen is I'm going to flip this, stitch it up the top, and it's going to be done. But I have to first do this and then, yeah, finish it up. Now that the top part is the same size as the bottom part, I'm going to fold over the mask and attach the sides together. To do this, I'm just going to be doing a simple slip stitch. That is just putting the hook through one of the sides and pulling through both of them. So inserting my hook through a loop there, and then putting my hook through the other loop on the other side, and then yarning over, pulling through two. That's just the simple slip stitch, and I'm going to do that to close up the sides. Once the one side is done, I am just cutting the yarn, pulling it through, and doing a slip knot just so that way it stays in place. And now I'm going to work on the top half of this mask. I'm doing the exact same steps that I did for the bottom half and just slip stitching it, making sure that I'm lining up the stitches properly, you know, just doing the exact same steps that I just did. Once the sides are connected, I am just attaching another piece of yarn because I need to attach or close in the top of the hat-like thing, and I am using my yarn needle for this part. So with the yarn needle, all I'm doing is I'm just doing like a zigzag kind of method. So just in one side, out the other, back through, just very lightly, not really stitching anything, and then that way when I am done, I just have to pull it tightly and then stitch it up. Once it's closed up, use the tail end still with the yarn needle and just kind of go back and forth through the small little opening at the top just to make sure that it is nice and secure, and you know, you're not going to get any snow on your head if it's open or whatnot. So that's basically what I'm doing right now. Then when it's all closed up, I am just cutting the yarn and tying it off so that way it is nice and secure. What I'm doing now is I'm actually going to do a single crochet border around the opening. That way it just kind of like, I don't know, just fits my face a little bit better. Not too sure exactly what I'm doing, so this is what I'm going to be doing. Instead of the ribbing where I just go through the back stitch, I'm actually going to go through both of the stitches. So it's yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through two, and through both. Okay, here's the thing. I kind of finished it, but I don't like how small this is. I thought I'd have more room, but because I had to, like, you know, close it up at the top, it shrunk the amount that I needed. So I think what I'm gonna do, and I really don't want to do it, but I will not wear it unless I do it. I'm going to take all of this off. I'm going to unattach it. Well, at least unattach it from the top. Here, it's good. I don't need to bother with the bottom part. I'm going to unattach it from the top. I'm going to take all of this off, like all of it off. And then I'm going to move it down a little bit and then go back over. I didn't realize how big this space was actually going to be. It was a lot bigger than I thought. I think I went 16 or 15 down, and I think I'm going to do 20. Like, I'll try it on and I'll just show you what it looks like. Okay, so this is what it's looking like. Yeah, like this is fine, but up here I feel Like it's too much of a gap here. Oh my goodness, it's so bright. I just think that this could be a lot longer. And I thought that if I could do this border all the way around, it would make up for it. It didn't. Again, I am making this up as I go along and I am not using a pattern. I'm gonna take all this off because I know it looks okay, but like I feel like I'm really pushing it forward. When I roll it up, it just doesn't sit the way I want to. So I'll show you what it looks like rolled up. Okay, so you can kind of see why I need it to be a little bit lower is because when I roll it up, I don't want a gap in my hat. I think I just need to move it down. Hopefully that will work. And like the steps that I showed you already, same steps. Nothing's changed with the steps. The only thing that is changing is instead of doing 15 down, I think I'm gonna do 20. That's the only thing that's changed. Took it apart. Yay. So this is the bottom. Bottom is still perfectly fine. It's just the top that I have to redo. So instead of, I think I went to here, I think I'm gonna go further down. So this way, this is a lot smaller. I think it will just look a lot nicer. So I'm going to redo it, reattach it, redo the top, which you've already seen me do, and then see how it looks. It's done. This is what it's looking like. Not horrible. It's not horrible. Is it the best thing that I've ever made? Not necessarily. Is it the worst thing I've ever made? No. Let me put it on the one day that I decide to wear a hair clip. Oh my goodness. This is what it looks like. I don't know how to feel. I mean, it makes my eyes look real pretty. I don't think I should ever shave my head. It's fine. It is what it is. And then if I pull this down, I can do this. Like the first time I did it, this was like raised a little bit too high and it just didn't like look right. I wish I could pull it down more. It's like either I can talk or I can see, but I can't really do both. I mean, the whole point of me making this is to cover my mouth. The reason why I went with this design is hopefully I can roll it up properly. Is that way if I roll it, say like this, and then like that, I have a hat. It is a little chunkier than, say, this hat here, which is just like, you roll it up once and it's like this. It is a little thicker, if I, you can see what I'm... And then like way down here is the opening, and the first time I did it, the opening was so high up that when I folded it, like this was open. So I like how it's a hat and then you fold it down and then it's the balaclava. So that's the reason why. Ooh. That's the reason why I went with this design. It also makes me look like I am a child again, because I did actually wear these as a kid. If I can find a photo, I'll put it right here. But yeah, I think this turned out okay. And then what I ended up doing was I did do like, I think 2 single crochet stitches just around the opening so it's more round and less like a square. I think I'd give this maybe like a 7 out of 10. There's probably better tutorials out there. Like I said at the beginning of this video, this was a trial and error, me figuring out if I can make it or not, and I made it. It turned out okay. I think that is it. If you're new to my channel, you like sewing, crafting, but mainly thrifting, even though I do a lot of other crafting videos more than I do thrifting, but you know, if you're interested in that kind of stuff, please subscribe. You can also follow me on my Instagram, which is Fancy Dinosaur Tea Party. I think that is it, so y'all have a good day now.